Yeah, I mean, I think those opening bars of a video called The Radio Star were probably defined more by the fact that, I mean, it was a hit record, obviously around the world, but I think people will probably most remember those opening bars for being the first video on MTV.
So I climbed to the height of a mountain line. Is there a vision here?
And then, of course, you joined Yes. Your first gig was almost playing to 70,000 people at Toronto Maple Leaf Stadium. What was that experience like?
Well, that was just crazy because Trevor and myself had been, guys in the back room playing, just doing sessions and that kind of thing, and productions, that sort of thing. So all of a sudden, for us to be elevated in front of all these people was pretty amazing. Yeah. And I got a taste for it then.
And of course, you're still with Yes now. You'll be here in the UK next year playing that album from 1980, Drama, in its entirety.
That's right, yeah, we're doing the whole of Drama, which was the first album that I did with Yes, and also the whole of Fragile, which is a sort of defining album from what they call the original classic lineup of Bill Bruford, John Anderson, Rick Wakeman, Steve Howe, Esquire.
It was the heat of the moment, telling me what my heart meant. The heat of the moment, showed in your eyes.
Of course, after Yes, I mean, you joined the band Asia with a number of famous musicians. The first album you did was at #1 in America for around 9 weeks, I think, wasn't it? I mean, that must have been a tremendous experience, the success that band enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, all of this really happened all in the space of about 3 years. So I went from the Buggles to Yes to forming Asia. It was a pretty good role at the time. Not had one since then, but no, I mean, Asia was really a band that was formed out of the sort of remains of Yes. Steve and myself obviously got on very well, and we got John Wetton and Carl Palmer. So it was a band that I think we wanted to make some music that was not, indicative of the stuff we've been involved in the 70s.
I couldn't be a better friend. Said I loved you, but in the end, we can't control or subjugate the machine. Real fate.
Your newest record, the Downes Braide Association with Chris Braide. How did you come across him, start working with him?
Well, about 5 years ago, we did one of the first Buggles gigs we'd ever done. I think it was probably the first Buggles gig at a place called the Supper Club in London, and it was a charity event. And Chris was working with Trevor Horn on a project called The Producers, and we really hit it off. We got to know each other very well, and he's just moving over to the States, to LA, and it just so happened that the following year I was over there and rejoined Yes at that time, so we kind of started working together. Whilst I was recording the Yes album, I was going up to Chris's in the morning and we were putting together ideas for an album, and it really came about like that. And I think once we'd done that album, Pictures of You, we've been in contact ever since and said, we really should do another one, and this is the album we came up with.
And of course, you've got a studio in Raglan in South Wales. Big Cardiff City fan as well, aren't you?
Huge, yeah. I mean, we're not doing brilliantly at the moment, but hanging in there. We've got still, I think we're 8th at the moment in the table. Yeah, I mean, I love watching football generally, but I've been in this area for 20 years, and I started following Cardiff, and I've seen the highs and the lows, and hopefully we'll have a good season and get up in the playoffs.